Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday, as it was. Welcome to another live stream on a Thursday night, just to hang out and have a chat, catch up, see what everyone's been up to. My name's Jason, and this is just Jason Keto. Like I said, hopefully everyone is doing well. I see there's people that were early in the door tonight, so I definitely appreciate that. We have Carrie came in first. Carrie's always or most of the time first in the door pulling up the boat to the live stream, so definitely appreciate that. Tiffany dropped by. She's probably be in and out lurking, but I appreciate any time anyone can spend here. We got Lynn is here. It's good to see you, Lynn. P&J's Homestead Adventures. Good to see you, Paula. Hopefully everyone enjoyed our raid parade last night with myself, Kendra from Consume the Goodness, Paula and Jason from P&J's Homestead Adventure, and Mel from Mel Runs Things. I think, I'm proud of how everyone's done in all of these 4 episodes of the monthly challenge that we're doing, but I definitely think last night's release of the 4 videos went really well. It seemed like as the night went on, things just got more and more exciting. So I was definitely happy to see how that turned out this month. And as always, if you want to join the collaboration where we just swap recipes between creators, just to give each of us something new to try, kind of thing, just you can email me at justjasonketo@gmail.com, and we'll get you into the rotation. Yeah, so we're at 4 creators right now, so we're always looking to add more fun creators into that. So let's see who else is here. Double D56 is here. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Scratching Pete is here. Thank you for coming, Pete. Kendra is here. Yeah, I didn't even know if we'd see you tonight, Kendra. Hopefully you're feeling a bit better tonight. But I appreciate you being here. Feel like I'm going to sneeze here. Of course. Let's see who else is here. Kevin from Tuber Chat's in the house. Good to see you, Kevin. Yeah, it was a great collaboration last night, or the release of the collaboration videos. I was really impressed with how everyone did. I didn't really, I wasn't super happy with the way my video turned out, but it was just one of those things. I don't know. I'm sure everyone has had those experiences where you're doing something and you just don't really feel like it, was your best effort. But I was really impressed with how Kendra and Paula and Jason and Mel did with their videos. So it was super fun this month. So definitely looking forward to next month. I think there's a couple other creators that are, somewhat interested in joining us. So, my hope is that at some point we can turn this into, 2 to 3 hours of premieres once a month kind of thing. So we may have to bump up the start time if we get to that point. Joe's in the house. Good to see you, Joe. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for sharing, Kevin. Appreciate it. Everyone's saying hi. Yep. Always fun to try new things. Absolutely. The recipe I did that Mel challenged me with this month was definitely sort of out of my comfort zone, which ultimately is the main sort of goal with this collaboration, I think, was to try and challenge each other with recipes that we wouldn't normally do, kind of thing. And that sort of opens things up to everybody that's involved and everybody that's watching, kind of thing. Uh, if you know me and sort of the recipes I do on my channel, everything is sort of 2 or 3 ingredients and always pretty straightforward and super easy. So this month's recipe was definitely more involved, and I learned some things. So that's always the goal, is to be learning something new. 6 months, awesome, Kevin. Thanks for gifting that membership as well. I'm sure Michael will be happy to receive that. I definitely appreciate it. Make sure Henry Leslie Vermont here. It's good to see you, Henry. Thanks for coming in. Luigi's here. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate you coming into the live stream tonight. Nothing super exciting to sort of discuss tonight, just our bi-weekly Thursday night hangout to see how everyone's doing. It's been pretty warm here in Southern Ontario, and it thankfully today it kind of eased up with some rain, and wasn't quite as hot here today, but the weather's definitely been up and down the last few days. Legends Gaming 667, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Uncle Big Guy is here. Appreciate you coming by. Thank you for that, Paula. Yeah, it's like I say, the video wasn't the video I came out better than I thought it was going to be. I just didn't I'm just a little hard on myself as far as taking a recipe that someone sent me and sort of not sort of getting it as close as I possibly could to it, kind of thing. It's just one of those things where some of the ingredients don't work for me, and some of them I couldn't find. And half the problem is my procrastination too, and not getting things done earlier. So yeah, it's mostly on me, but everyone had fun. Like I was saying, we had a chat by email between everyone last night, and I think sort of the consensus is that everyone seems to be enjoying this monthly release of collaboration videos. I think ultimately it's a good way to do something like this, where once a month we just all put out our videos in a row, and then it just gives everyone a chance to hang out. And when you go from video to video to video to video and see the same people at all of the releases, plus some new people that come in through notifications, I just think it was a lot of fun last night for sure. Jesse Journals and Inboxes is here. It's good to see you, Jesse. Thank you for coming in. Everyone's saying hi to each other here. The source is here from Walmart checkout line. Well, thank you for coming in from the Walmart. High here was 88 Fahrenheit. It's now 75 with all the windows open. Yep. It's well, the nice thing at this time of year too is that it's still cooling off nice at night, so you can keep the windows open and cool things out off overnight nicely. Like when I enjoy it to be quite cool when I sleep, so it's still tolerable. We're not haven't even thought about turning the air conditioning on yet. We usually wait till there's quite a bit of humidity before we do that. So yeah, it's still comfortable. It's been pretty warm a couple of days this week for sure. Kristen's here. It's good to see Kristen. Such a fun to be part of the Raid Parade. Absolutely, Paula. It was a lot of fun for sure. Love how all the collab videos all in a row. Yep. Yeah, and it's been working out pretty good, where we don't have sort of too much wait time in between the videos. I don't think we're sort of specifically working it out that way, but most of the time these recipe videos, they're 6, 7, 8 minutes, something like that. And then when you tack on a 5 minute premiere intro onto the front of it, that's how we're sort of able to keep it close to the 15 minutes per time slot, which definitely works out good. Like last night, we were basically right around an hour total from start to finish with very little downtime in there. So yeah, I was quite happy with the way it rolled along for sure. Premiere Train was fun. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Henry. Yeah, I really enjoyed everyone's videos last night. Everyone made some great looking things. The chaffle pizza pops that Kendra made, and then the keto brownies that Paula made, and then Mel made homemade butter. So yeah, all sorts of, and with the sort of lettuce wraps that I made, it was that shows you the spectrum of what we're trying to accomplish with this collaboration. There's 4 entirely different types of recipes between the 4 of us, which I think really keeps things interesting. It wouldn't be so much fun if we were all doing chaffle recipes or similar recipes. So that's what I find fun about the whole challenge part of this collaboration, where we figure out, we discuss amongst each other at the beginning to figure out who's going to send who recipes each month, and then basically then we just work together and send each other the recipes we're thinking. And it so far it's worked out pretty good. You may see chaffle recipes in quite a few of these releases, because that's mainly what I have to offer to other people, but we'll try and keep things interesting. What do we got going on here? Everyone's saying hi. Yeah, we're saying hi to Henry, Jesse, and Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot is awake tonight. It's good to see. Warm here too. Great to see the sun. Rain headed this way again. Yeah, it was rainy pretty much all day today, which is fine. It wasn't super crazy rain anyways. The speaking of Nightbot, if you have a channel and you want to share the link to your YouTube channel, just type #Thrive in the chat. And if Nightbot is doing what it's supposed to do, it'll drop your link for you. Lots of great creators here. So, if you're not connected with everyone, I would definitely suggest that you do so. It's fun to watch other friends make chaffles. Yep, for sure. It's, quick and easy, and it seems to be a fairly well-received thing. What do we got here? Pete, how's your video coming? Vodka and Cheetos for episode 5. Yeah. Yeah, that would be easy, Pete. Wouldn't that would be what, 2-3 minutes? Yeah, if that. Thanks for coming back, Tiffany. Appreciate you hanging in with us here. Yeah, weekend is coming. Getting some of the Canadian fire fog today with rain. Yeah, it's been pretty foggy out here too from the fire. Carrie's back. Good to see you, Carrie. Thanks for coming in and being first in the door. Working on it. Yeah. Well, we'll hold you to that, Pete. Oh boy. Yeah. So it looks like we're still caught up with the chat. So I hope everyone's week's going okay so far. whether it's got to do with your, you know, life in general. Hopefully everyone is, enjoying the weather and sort of keeping up with your diet if that's what you're trying to do. I know it can be pretty difficult at times, depending on what's going on. I think this is sort of in the community. There's a lot of people doing the beef, butter, bacon, and egg sort of reset this month. And if no one knows what, or anyone doesn't know what that is, it's basically exactly like it sounds, is that, I think for the month of June, a lot of people are just eating those 4 foods for the 30 days, or trying to stay as close to it kind of thing. So they're eating just what I said, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs as their sort of nutrients for the month. The sort of idea behind that is to, get rid of some of the get rid of some of the noise in your diet, from the different things you're thinking about in the keto community and carnivore. It spells it out nice and easy for everybody. If you can manage the 30 days just on those 4 things, then, it's sort of like I was saying earlier, it's like a reset to get you back on track. Just say you've been having some struggles trying to stay on track and, straying away from your diet and lifestyle. It's one of those things that, most people enjoy those 4 things and can tolerate those 4 things. So it makes it easy to follow. And in fact, I have I'm not doing or doing that as a challenge for the month. I've said before that I don't personally sort of get involved in in these challenges per se, as far as doing a certain way of eating for a month. Not to say that I don't think it's, I think it's great if someone wants to do it. That's for everyone to sort of choose if they want to do, because it does definitely help certain people. Just like going carnivore for a month can really reset the way your lifestyle is going, or doing sardine challenges or egg fasts or stuff like that. Certain things can really help, take away that noise of, well, what am I going to have for dinner tonight, or for breakfast or lunch or whatever, when you cut down your options to a smaller, set of ingredients. It just makes it easier. You don't have to think so much about what you're going to do every day, basically. But like I was starting to say, I do have a recipe that I'm going to work on probably even after the live stream tonight for this week. That is sort of related to the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs month thing kind of deal. So that will, I have been doing my premieres, like my weekly video premieres. I've been doing it at 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays for the last 2-3 weeks, and everything's been going pretty well. But I won't be able to premiere on Saturday this week. I won't be around at all on Saturday, so I'm going to have to I'll have to put it on Sunday again. Maybe we'll do noon on Sunday. I'll put something in the community tab, or like a post on the community tab once I figure out when I'm going to put that out. But so if you don't see anything at noon on Saturday, that's why. So I saw Matt Mouse came in. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Oh, my life completely sucks not being able to afford AC. Yeah, I can imagine, especially where you are, Carrie, with I'm sure the heat is just brutal right now down there. Everyone's saying hi to each other. So, yeah, so that's sort of where we're at with the channel here. Just trying to come up with more fun recipes each week and different ideas. I'm definitely want to try and um, incorporate uh, more recipes that aren't, specifically chaffle recipes. Um, like I say, it's sort of hit and miss with those, whether or not the chaffle recipes get many views anymore. Relatively speaking to what they have in the past. But I do have lots of other, hopefully fun ideas that I'd like to give a try. So hopefully everyone enjoys that. Andy's here. It's good to see Andy. Thanks for coming in. Andy's live almost every day. So if you haven't checked out her channel, I would definitely suggest it. She makes some fun, really interesting stuff over there. So again, yeah, if anyone wants to drop a link to their channel in the chat, just type #Thrive and Nightbot should drop that for you. Cool. Yeah. So, like I say, hopefully everyone's doing good. Got some. We're getting close to being into summer. I don't know if YouTube's going to slow down a little bit during this summer, or if we're gonna stay busy. But hopefully, everyone is, still staying motivated with their YouTube sort of career or hobby or whatever it is that you see it as. I know not everyone here has a YouTube channel, but we do have quite a few creators in the house, and sometimes it is difficult to stay motivated to make new content on YouTube. But like I say, all we can do is work at the pace that makes us happy with what we're doing. If stressing out about making content and everything is is actually stressing you out, then I don't think it's not healthy, or it's never any fun if things like that are going to stress you out. That's why I've sort of tried to stick with like a more of a relaxed schedule. I don't, I used to try and put out 2 or 3 videos every week and stress about how they were performing and everything. And since I sort of moved to the, one video and sometimes one late live stream a week, I've found that it has relieved some of the stress. I know there are people out there that prefer to put out videos every day, and then that's the way they enjoy doing YouTube. But that's basically what we have to do, is we have to do things on this platform the way that makes us happy. So yeah. And then these live streams are sort of just an opportunity to get caught up with everyone, see how they're doing. If you are, or I don't know if anyone here is actually doing the BBB&E sort of challenge for the month. I'd definitely be interested to find out how how you're enjoying it, how it's going, because we're, what, 5 days into the month kind of thing. And I've seen videos from a few creators that are sort of posting what they eat every day on this. So the so yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing, but again, I don't find it one of those things that really works for me mentally to change up the way I do things too often. So, but I'm always here to support whatever anyone else wants to try, for sure. What are we seeing here? I'm up to 10 subscribers now, but I don't even have a channel. Yeah, that's funny. Well, so this channel is what's called a branded YouTube channel. So basically what that means is that, so Just Jason Keto is actually an account that's set up underneath my personal account. And then I have another shorts channel that I don't really do much with as well. But my personal YouTube account has 2 or 3 subscribers too. So it's it's kind of funny when people subscribe to a channel that doesn't have any content. But it happens on on Instagram all the time too. Like people that don't post anything on Instagram wind up with hundreds of followers too. So not super unheard of, but I like what Matt and Mouse are saying, that you should schedule a live and then play a Rickroll video instead. That would be funny. Since I just crochet anyways, it just seems normal to me since I only go live and don't edit anything. Yeah, and that's comes down to exactly what I was saying, is that we all have to do what makes us happy and what works best for us on YouTube, right? What works best for me is just doing simple recipes and live streams. I from time to time I do reviews. I've got another review video that I'm working on for another product right now. And then once in a while I do like just a talking head motivational video. But I'm not super comfortable with doing those for some reason. I can talk here on a live stream for an hour every week and, have no problem with it. Sit me in front of a camera that's recording and try and spit out what I'm trying to say on video, and it takes me forever. So that's why I don't do a lot of those videos. So again, for me, the easiest way to keep doing things here on YouTube is just doing simple, quick and fun recipes and live streams. So, and for Andy, it's crocheting, and you do a great job with your lives. You got a lot of fun people over there. Your channel is just growing like crazy. So people are really enjoying what you're doing over there, and some of the stuff that you make is really cool. So, and it's like you say, you're just doing what you would normally be doing anyway. So all you're really doing is turning on a camera and, chatting with people as you do it. So, which I find really cool. Yeah. Source dropped your link, so check them out for sure. Yep. If you want to join the collaboration with us next month, we're always looking for more creators that want to join us for that recipe challenge collaboration kind of thing. I'm assuming that we'll have hopefully 4 again next month at least. So aiming for at least one more. If we can get up to 6, that would be even better. Tiffany's saying her personal account has 5 subs and I posted nothing. Yeah, it happens for sure. Scott is here. Good to see you, Scott. Thank you for coming in. Big Family Expedition is in the house. Good to see you. I appreciate you being here with me on this Thursday night. Nothing super exciting, just hanging out, getting caught up. I think I'm behind on your videos a bit. I know there was a couple that came out that I haven't seen yet, but I always work at getting back and getting caught up with everyone as I can. So I do know that I'm behind on your content as well. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Yeah, Andy's got a great channel over there for sure. Thank you, Pete. If you can hit the thumbs up, that would be appreciated. How does the collaboration work? Do you have to cook all the recipes or just get one? So basically what we do is, sort of halfway through this month, we'll figure out who's going to be participating for July's episode, which will be episode number 5, the first Wednesday of every month is when we release the videos. So basically what happens, so in this episode 4, it was myself, Kendra, Paul and Jason, and Mel from Mel Runs Things. So basically, Kendra sent Paula the keto brownie recipe to make. And then Paula sent Mel the homemade butter recipe to make. And then Mel sent me the beef larb lettuce wrap recipe to make. And then I sent Kendra the pepperoni pizza chaffle pops recipe to make. So it's just one recipe each month kind of thing. And it's basically you're taking a recipe that one of the other participants in the collaboration sends you directly. And then, we make sort of that recipe that we're sent, put it together in a video, and then we upload it. And like last night, we premiered them all in a row, basically, just setting up redirects. So we started with mine, and once mine was done, I set my premiere to automatically send everyone over to Kendra's video. And then she sent everyone over to Paula's video, and then everyone finished up over at Mel's channel. So it's just a lot of, it's a fun thing. It's not, it's very exciting, I think, when we do the release on that Wednesday night. And I do think everyone seemed to enjoy it last night. Like I was saying earlier, it just were there, and by the end of the raid parade, if you want to call it that, it was doing really well. So that's the sort of the way it works. If you want to give it a try, and it's not something that, and again, this is a open collaboration. You can, if you want to try it once, and if you have fun and you want to do it again, great. If not, and you just want to try it once, that works too. Like it's not sort of something you have to commit to on an ongoing basis, because I know we don't all have time to do things like this every month, and it is getting into the summer, and we're all busy during the summer. So, but like I say, if you want to get involved and try it out for 1 month, then that's entirely possible. So, let's see here. Ann Philbeck's in the house. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Tiffany's got to grab food. I pigged out on some pork chops for dinner. Pardon the pun there, but yeah, that's what I had tonight. Just got back from steak dinner. Oh, sounds good. Cindy Lifestyle and More, watching live on my TV. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. We're just hanging out, having a chat, seeing what's going on with everyone. Um, Everyone's saying hi to Amy and Cindy here. Yeah, so nice. Everyone went to all four premieres. Yeah, it definitely worked out well. Last night we were seeing the same people at every sort of premiere. Like I said, we did pick up sort of uh, more viewers from sort of each creator's community as we went along. But the other thing that sort of these raid parades do is it exposes people to other channels so that you know people from my community get to know the other three creators and same on like so on down the line kind of thing. So um sure was fun. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping by. I had ribeye with crab meat at Saltgrass Steakhouse. That sounds good. Collabs are great because you know the recipes will all be pretty simple and not all involve 500 ingredients. Great tasting recipes, quick made. Yep. Yeah, and I think that's sort of the um, the idea with this too. Is we did want to try and keep it somewhat, quick and easy and fun. You know, there has been some that are a little more involved. Like the recipes that I put into the collaboration are all fairly straightforward with not a lot of ingredients so far. Um, so, when I get a recipe to do that's more involved, in one way it helps me because then it gets me to do things that I'm not sort of used to doing, and that just helps me grow and maybe expand what I'm doing as far as what I put on the channel as weekly recipe videos. And had steak and cheese subs without the bread. Yum. That definitely sounds good. I have a YouTube question. I'm editing some footage from me talking in an airport and there's music playing in the background. Do you think YouTube will copyright strike me? Is there a way to edit the music out without losing me talking? It depends on the music, Amy. It is quite possible. It's especially if it was like mainstream music. Like depending, like if it was like Muzak or something, you might get away with it. But if it was like actual, mainstream music that was playing in the background, it'd be pretty. You may definitely get at least a copyright claim on it. I don't necessarily think that you're going to wind up with a strike or the way you put it there. It'd be more like a copyright claim. If your channel's not monetized anyways, then it's not such a big deal, but you just still don't want to sort of get into that, going down that pathway. As far as editing out the music, without losing your audio, like you talking, that part is above what I know how to do for sure. I don't know if anyone else here has any ideas on how they could do that. I'm not much of a, I definitely don't know a lot about editing, especially about editing audio. The sort of the extent of what I do as far as editing my audio goes is the turning up the volume or turning it down sort of thing. So that's unfortunately, I can't really help you with that part. Is the music less than 10 seconds? Isn't there a 10-second rule? Some editing apps do have background cleanup. I can't tell what the song is, but they're so intelligent. Yeah, yeah, their bots can definitely pick things out, that's for sure. Unless you were using a microphone, I'm not sure if you can. Yeah, if you were using a microphone that you can separate out um, some audio layers, kind of thing. I think it depends on the software you use. I have Final Cut Pro, so I have a feature that does voice isolation, and it is more than 10 seconds. Yeah, that part I'm not entirely sure. Um, See, I would be going straight to Google, software that will isolate voice from background noise. Yeah, so Adobe stuff, Filmora will do it as well. There are some tools out there that might do it. I don't know if Odyssey will do it. That would be my only suggestion. Like I say, I'm not really sort of versed on this kind of stuff, so but I'm sure there's some stuff out there that would do it. So you're filming on your iPhone, okay? The collaboration videos, I don't know, Paula, if you can drop that playlist link again for all the videos, that would be appreciated. There is a playlist that has, I think, all 4 episodes of videos in it so far. So, use DaVinci Resolve free. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something in there that might help you with that. But like you're saying there, sometimes some of those advanced features are you have to pay for to unlock them. I haven't been able to get my computer to work long enough with DaVinci Resolve to figure out what all it will do. You know, I can usually get about 80% through editing a video, and then it just crashes my computer completely. So can't help you with that one, unfortunately. But Matt Mouse is saying that is a paid feature. It's good to know. I use what do I use? I don't know the name of it. I use PowerDirector 365. It's not a super powerful editing tool. It's just one of those things that that I'm used to using, and I have paid for basically a full license of it. So cool. Thank you for dropping that link, Paula. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, there are a ton of features, especially in programs like DaVinci Resolve. Like I say, it is one of the best, most powerful sort of free editing tools out there. But you do definitely need a fairly stout computer to run it properly, which mine isn't, unfortunately. I think it overpowers the video card pretty quickly. So, Paul is saying maybe you could do a voiceover. Yeah, that would definitely be pretty tough. But like I say, I would, software to isolate, or I would say free software. It's hard to say. Yeah. You might take a look at Odyssey. I use Odyssey for my voiceovers. I don't know if it has anything that will clean up background noise or separate tracks and stuff like that. Because like I say, I use Odyssey quite regularly, but all I do with it is if I'm doing a voiceover, I just use it to record the audio. But yeah, you might be able to strip out the voice from your audio feed through that program, and Odyssey's free. So like I say, I would just, I think you're at that point with it where you'll have to just start trying to figure out which ones work for certain things. And then I think like Matt Mouse here is saying that you may not be able to strip it right out of the audio track, but you might be able to reduce the volume of those frequencies that gets it to a level where YouTube isn't going to pick it up. Again, unfortunately, you're right. YouTube does have some pretty powerful tools, and quite often they flag things they shouldn't even flag. But I've run into this problem in the past too, where you're trying to film something. I'll give an example. A couple of years ago, I was trying to film some snowmobile drag races that they have during the summer at the fair here. And one of the best things about the drag races is the noise of the actual snowmobiles as they're running full out, kind of thing. Problem is that the organizer decided they'd want to have great big speakers facing the crowd that was blaring like mainstream music. So it's like, okay, well, so there goes my ability to actually use any of the footage with the audio that I wanted to have on it. So it's pretty tough, but at least you're aware of it, because a lot of people wouldn't even think about these things, and they just post it, and then they get into trouble with YouTube, and nobody wants that. So frequencies where vocals typically sit around 1 kilohertz to 4 kilohertz. Good to know. Or remove the soundtrack completely, replace with the Peanuts. Yeah. I'm sure there are certain times when that would work. So yeah, good question. Makes us all think as creators. We all have to be careful with what we put on our YouTube channels. We don't want to get into any trouble with our channels, monetized or not. Even if you're not monetized yet, you don't want to get onto that radar with YouTube as someone who's not sort of paying attention to what you're posting. May test the video as unlisted first and see if I get any warning. Yeah, it's hard to say if it would. It might. You might be able to do that. See if it gets you any claims against it. Like I say, I don't know how many I have. I think I've got a couple of videos where I have, copyright claims against it. But it was before I was monetized, so I wasn't super worried about it. But like I say, it's always best to try and stay on YouTube's good books. Yeah, I see so much that I have to edit out when I'm editing, even though I swear it was a clean recording. Yep. And I think I even heard a bleep in one of your videos recently. So what's with that? I'm just bugging. I haven't had to do that yet. Haven't slipped up. So yeah, hopefully that kind of conversation doesn't completely bore everybody, but it's as creators and as with all the creators that are here, we're all trying to help each other just improve with what we're doing, and the make sure that we're all having fun with it, kind of thing. You have to bleep it's a family friendly channel. Yeah, no, I'm just bugging you. It's just something that I noticed in your last video there. I was like, hey, I had to bleep a word out, you know, which, you're just being you, right? So nothing wrong with that for sure. Jody's here. It's good to see you, Jody. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else has any more questions for about YouTube. There's a great bunch of people here that can help. We can all figure stuff out together. Um, the um, and hopefully everyone's, if you're on a lifestyle journey to try and get healthy, hopefully everyone is, surviving that kind of thing. I know it can be difficult at times. We are getting in, like the holidays, the Christmas season and all that can be tough, if you're trying to stick to a lifestyle plan with all the parties and the events and stuff that go on. Summer's no, like not any easier though, because you're always tempted at, picnics and parties and places you go. And, if you're going to, going on vacation and, what are you going to do while you're on vacation? And so, but that's what I'm here for, is to try and help you sort of stay on track, and the, sort of give you options as to what you can do. I've said it many times before. My sort of go-to way to survive any kind of gathering, whether it's a holiday party or, a summer party or gathering or something like that, is that, if you're going, let's say you're going somewhere and it's going to be like a cookout dinner or something, there's going to be barbecue and all that. I will always, I'm not going to not have anything while I'm there, but I'll always try and have a good size lunch, late lunch kind of thing, so that I'm not super hungry when I get to the whatever function it is you're going to, kind of thing. And then that way I'm not as tempted. When I'm at a function like that, usually, if you go to a picnic or a barbecue or something, there's usually some sort of hamburgers or hot dogs or something that you can eat, kind of thing. And then, yeah, you can bring your own snack, bring some pork rinds or some bacon or whatever, just to keep you going. It's when you go into picnics and stuff like that hungry that it can be really hard to sort of not indulge in things. So yeah, summer is definitely tough as well. So many snacks in the house right now. I fell off the wagon this week. Well, it happens to everyone for sure. I've had too many things in this house too, mostly because I've bought certain things for videos, which, I use some of an ingredient for videos and then the rest is just sitting around tempting me. So the struggle is real. Is what my video is about, what I ate on vacation. Cool. Happy anniversary, Jody. I find eating half, you're pretty safe. Yeah. Yeah. Eat before you go or take purse snacks with you. Yeah, absolutely. Coastal Waters here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you dropping by. My friends are always saying, "Oh my God, she's eating food out of her purse." Yeah. Well, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do, right? You know, I'd rather uh, I'd rather eat bacon out of my pocket than eat cookies and candy and stuff. So, yeah, also eat before shopping. Yeah, that's a good tip. Trying out new to us boat. Nice. That sounds exciting. Boating is always fun. Everyone's saying hi to everyone that's coming in. Hopefully, you didn't have any trouble getting into the chat tonight, Loretta. I don't know what was going on with, or why my channel wasn't letting you chat for some reason. You know, it definitely always pretty much fixes it if if making a moderator. It's just weird. YouTube doing stupid YouTube things sometimes. Yep. Cheese sticks are a good option to carry with you too. Like I said, I usually will grab a bag of pork rinds and take that with me if we're going out for the night. Cool. So we're coming up on the hour, so we'll start to wrap things up. If anyone wants to drop the link for their channel before we head out for the night, just type #Thrive in the chat, and Nightbot should do that for you. Again, this week's video will be on Sunday because I want it to be a premiere, and I won't be able to attend it on Saturday, so we'll move it to Sunday for this week, and I'll post it in my community tab for when that's going to be, kind of thing, and then hope to see you there. It's not going to be anything super exciting or revolutionary or anything, but it's just going to be a quick, easy snack that goes along with the BBB&E sort of challenge that's going around this month. So, Beverly, got to go. My ribeye is calling me. Well, you better answer that call, Beverly. I certainly would be. Cool. Yeah. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hopefully the weather cooperates with you. We'll be back here in 2 weeks' time for the next live stream. I do appreciate everyone that keeps coming back. We'll get back into the weekly live streams in the fall. Again, like I was saying, when I started doing it every other week, I was having trouble staying consistent with weekly, where it's a little bit easier to do this every other week. So that's what we'll do for now. But in the fall, we should be able to get back onto that regular weekly schedule. So that's about it for this week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday. Keep on thriving, my friends.